What up, Screen Fiends? I'm GB, and you're tuned in to Headz TV, where we like to discuss all the wonderful things appearing on your movie and your TV screens. In this episode, I'm going to give my review of The Leftovers, Season 3, Episode 6, titled Certified. Okay, this was a good episode. It wasn't fantastic, best, the most outstanding episode, but it was really good. It definitely wasn't my favorite of this season, but I think that's because the character of Lori and even the actress who plays her, I'm not the biggest fan of, or haven't been in any of the show. So I think that's maybe why I'm saying it wasn't a great episode, because it was really good. But I think if I was a fan of that character or even the actress, I might have enjoyed this episode a little bit more. Because this is another standalone episode. It's just about Lori. We do get the other characters in it, but it's all her story through her point of view. There are some fantastic things about this episode. Performance wise and story wise. So, all right, let's just get into it. Here, the synopsis reads: Lori Garvey, a former therapist, must become one again as she heads to Australia to help Nora and Kevin along their paths. Okay. All right. Matt and Nora's conclusion of this episode, which I don't think is the conclusion of their story, was a little strange to me. So I can't really talk about that because I didn't really get it too much. And I benefit a lot from The Leftovers when I watch the last week's episode before the next. So next week, after I watch this one again, I'm sure I'll have maybe a little bit more insight into it. But first, I want to talk about the flashback Lori has, right? Well, she doesn't have it, but they show us like a flashback of right after the departure, before Lori joins the Guilty Remnant. And she kind of loses it. She loses it. They don't really explain 100% what's behind her suicide, if she was unhappy before the departure, or if being a therapist and dealing with all of these people that experience this loss maybe depressed her to a point. I don't really know, but I imagine that incident is what led her to join the Guilty Remnants, who the one lady that's on her couch says are picketing outside of the therapy office. So we see her try and commit suicide, and then try and reverse it with the Ipecac, and not commit suicide, and regretting it, and it just this. The actress really did a good job of displaying all these different emotions, where she looked at peace with it, and this is what she's gonna do, and then this moment of like confusion: do I really want to do this or not? And then kind of this realization that I have a family, I have kids, I can't do this. And it was really well portrayed in that one little scene in the beginning, all of those emotions and a lot of story in that one little scene. So, that was a very good job. Probably my favorite part of the episode. Okay, and then let's talk about the way this episode was structured. Was a little strange. It was like flashes of before and after, right? So we had Lori arriving on the farm, right, where everybody else was. The Murphys, Papa Kevin. Sorry, heard something outside. Those Australian ladies, and they thought Kevin was there or whatever, but he's not there. He's off, kind of doing his own Jesus thing. And man, does he look like Jesus with that beard, dude? Like, so Jesus. All right. So let's talk about the little flashbacks first. It's Lori, Matt, and Nora. Carrie Coons is amazing. I just love her delivery. She is one of my favorite actresses right now. She is so good. Between Fargo and The Leftovers, she is really killing it. I just wanted to put that out there. So we have the story of them kind of going after. See, this is maybe why the episode didn't hit with me, because after last week's episode, it kind of comes out of nowhere and it doesn't like fit. It's very strange, because now all of a sudden Matt, Lori, and Nora are like spying on those doctors and they're following them, but we don't really get any revelation. I don't know. It was really strange, the flashbacks to me. Some funny stuff though in the writing, the dialogue, the interactions between Nora and Lori were really, really good. Like I said, Carrie Coon is amazing. Her delivery, the way she's eating that orange and talking in the car, fantastic. And her performance at the end, even though I didn't truly get it, she's so captivating, Carrie Coons. This wasn't even her episode, and to me, she's the standout of the episode. I'll get to that in a minute. Right, so not too much I can say about the flashbacks, and then we get the present day stuff where I think Lori has accepted that she's going to kill herself. Once again, it kind of comes out of nowhere where we've been in the present day story. And that, to me, bothers me about this show. And it feels like this is our last season, so we got to rush it and get it done. Instead of kind of showing us a progression of Lori being suicidal. I know we see in the beginning of the episode, and that's the point, is to show us that she's been suicidal for quite some time. I get it. But in the present day story, we don't get a sense of that. So that kind of came out of nowhere for me, and it hurt the episode, in my opinion. All right, so now we know that she's. We don't find out to the end of the episode that she's accepted suicide, but she drugs the whole family, which I thought was a strange way to get alone time with Kevin. I mean, she could have just ran off in the middle of the night, or I don't know. There's other ways to handle it. You have to drug everybody. What if she accidentally OD'd one of them or some shit? You know what I mean? Like, I doubt that could happen eating soup or whatever, but you get what I'm saying. So Lori drugs the family, goes off to spend, her last moments with Kevin. And then she goes to kill herself and calls the kids. Now, I really liked her scene with Kevin. Amazing. We learn more about their dynamic and all that. Because, we never really learned much about them as a couple. Little bits here and there. But it's nice to see that, that more of an interaction and more of a backstory, I guess, between them. Same thing with Nora and Matt. In this episode, we learned a little bit more about them. Their parents died when they were young in a fire, and these are things we didn't know before, and it would have benefited getting to know these characters to learn this stuff in season 1. Seeing as though most of these characters have been there since season 1, but we didn't get that, so why even talk about it, right? All right. So then she goes meets Kevin, and then she goes to the boat, calls the kids. Really touching, really good stuff, good performance by, I think her name is Amy Brennan or Brenneman, something like that. Good performance, good job. I don't know if she's going to be successful in killing herself. I like how she took Nora's idea of an ideal way to kill yourself, scuba diving, because a million things can go wrong, and it doesn't look like suicide when you do it, and I think that's kind of the point of it, is to kill yourself without letting everyone know you're killing yourself, I guess. And I think that's really the point. They didn't say that in the episode, but that's what I got from it, is when Nora's saying, well, I'd kill myself. She's not saying that it's an easy way, because there's 100 million easy ways to kill yourself. She's saying that this is an easy way that won't leave the footprint of you killing yourself. Accidents happen, certified or not. See? Now, and it brings back to the title now, Certified. So, in the beginning, even though she's a certified therapist, she's having a breakdown, certifiable breakdown, right? So the certification doesn't really mean nothing. And then she says, well, I'm certified in scuba, but that doesn't really mean nothing, because even when you're certified, these accidents that Nora says can happen in scuba diving can happen to anyone at any time. So I like that. I like that Leftovers does that you can really think and really pick stuff apart. If you watch my reviews, you know that I try and do that. Sometimes I make a mountain out of nothing. Not even a molehill, out of a anthill. You know what I mean? But it's fun to do it. And I like shows that do it and then it makes sense. So I like that, because it shows that they're putting thought into the writing. Even though some of the choppy way that this season has been with storytelling, and I feel like it's this season because they know they can't do any more. the choppy direction and storytelling is hurting this season in my eyes. Because some of the puzzle pieces aren't fitting together for me. And this is the type of show where, yes, I know they're all not going to fit. There's always going to be missing pieces. But the pieces you have should at least interlock and fit, right? The episode standout to me was absolutely 100% Carrie Coons. She is amazing. I love that woman. And let me just stop. My least favorite thing about the moment was, like I said, the choppy nature of it. How some of the storylines just didn't make sense in what we've seen the characters doing up until this point. So yeah, that's a big complaint. Actually, that's not really a small one. That's probably my biggest complaint that I've given on this show with these reviews this season. So my final rating for this episode, honestly, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. It didn't really do a lot for me. Carrie Coons' performance was like almost a 5 out of 5, you know what I mean? But the rest of the episode just fell flat for me. I mean, not totally flat. Like I said, it was all right, but it wasn't bad. But it was, to me, it was an average TV watching experience. And I felt at times wanting to check my email or whatever, and that's never a good sign, So, all right, when I'm watching other shows, like when I'm watching Fargo, don't text me, don't call me. I'm not checking no emails, nothing. Leave me alone. So, The Leftovers has never really been that kind of show for me anyway, so I don't know why I even put that in there. All right, that's it for this one. Sound off down below. Let me know what you thought about the last episode of The Leftovers. Let me know what you're thinking about the last season as a whole, or where you think it's going. Anything at all. Any thoughts, any conversation topics whatsoever about The Leftovers, hit me up down below. Also, any comments on my video style, my production, anything at all that I could tweak, I could change, I could make better, that you want me to keep the same. Anything at all, please let me know down there. It helps not only the channel, but it helps me grow as a person. All right, that's it for this one. Thanks a lot for watching. Always appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.